Like a fire. You better stop moving. Just like a fire. Burn up, burn up. You better stop moving. Just like a fire. Burn up, burn up. You better stop moving. Stop moving. Just like a just like a fire. You better stop moving. Just like a fire. Burn up, burn up. You better stop moving. Just like a fire. Burn up, burn up. Yeah. You better stop moving.
Hello. I'm going to talk to you about an IM that I've had for a while. It's another Thieaudio, but this time it is the Oracle. Now, I have tried the Hype 10, I have tried the Monarch Mark III, and those were post of my Thieaudio Oracle. Now, I ended up buying this off a friend who bought it once before and regretted selling it, so he bought another one. And then he sold it to me, and after that he bought it for the third time. And that isn't the first person I've heard say that. It was like I sold it because I wanted to get something else, but I missed it so much that I had to own it again. And I get that feeling. For me, as this keeper, I would rather sell some blood than sell this IM. That's how much I enjoy this IM. And it's one of these IMs, as a person who likes to share my impressions, next to impossible. It damn near is, because it's really hard to put on your critical listening hat when you're enjoying the music so much. And for me, music is emotion. And when I get wrapped up in emotion and how something makes me feel, I don't want to step out of that comfort zone, if that makes any sense at all. Now, when I researched this IM and read reviews, so when I researched the Oracle and getting some ideas, have this one on my radar. So when I started doing research on this IM, because I heard so many good things about it, about how natural and balanced and smooth and wonderful it was and musical, so of course piqued my interest, and it's been around a while. The funny thing is, with all these new releases out there from Thieaudio and likewise, this is still for sale, the original, even with Oracle 2, which didn't get very good feedback. So people were mad, actually. It's like, why would you call it an Oracle and change the tuning completely and bastardize it? Rah! The daggers came out, right? So, but I can see why there's a cult following, honestly, on this IM too. So when the opportunity really arose for me to pick this up, I think it was destiny, really was. Now, in the beginning of the video, it kind of tells you where my kind of preferences are, you know, warm, a little bit bassy, maybe, you know, north of neutral for tonality wise, when it comes to adding in a little bit of mid bass in. And I enjoy different tunings, different IMs for my different mood swings, right? Let me get this, where is this thing here? So here's my set. So after I picked this thing up and I saw a nice HCK dual God cable, and it's kind of got a purple and black shininess to it, with these accents, it was like, man, that thing was made for this thing. Here's my only negative thing about this IM that I'm going to say in this review. Why does the Oracle look like a couple of other of their IMs identical? Like they just named them something different but left the same shell. Naughty, naughty on you, on Thieaudio and Linsol. Mine are attached to a pen-on lacquer tips, in this case the orange ones. I find these tips very sticky, like the Osla, and fit me really well. Kind of funny, in the Osla I need a medium large, and in these ones I take a large, so it's just like half a mil bigger, but man, do they fit really well. In fact, these seal so good in my ears that when I pull them out, they actually reverse, they flip upside down. So I think that's a pretty damn good seal. Whatever it is, they seem to work pretty damn well. 4.4 balanced. And I will talk about sources as well, and I think that is really super important. When anybody's giving you impressions, they need to tell you their sources and why they picked what they did, because it really will affect the characteristics of the IM. Some are more revealing than others, and some are more forgiving than others. And I'll get into that just in a little bit. So this is a tribrid. If you're not familiar with this, some of the new, they moved away from in the Thieaudio because ESTs were from Sonyan were expensive. So, and I think that's the biggest reason why they moved away from ESTs and started using the Knowles super tweeters in the BAs, right? Because it's cheaper and you don't need the little charger and stuff that's inside. So in this one, it's not massive driver count. You get one polycarbonate 10 millimeter driver. There's two custom Knowles BAs for mids and highs, and there's two Sonyan ESTs. That is the entire driver count. So it's 1 plus 2 plus 2. It's a tribrid. But what a wonderful tribrid it is. Now, let's talk about sound for this thing, because I want to share my impressions of what I heard on this IM, and explain it the way the monk has heard it. Okay. So as I alluded to earlier, this is one IM I can pick up and instantly melt into the music. Whatever music I'm listening to, whatever genre of music I'm listening to, whether it be metal, classical, jazz, doesn't matter. I enjoy it on this IM. And again, my reviewer brain really just turns off. Yeah. Let's talk about from the musical side, how this thing just the analytical side of how it replays music for me. So the bass is sub focused, and for me, I do like more mid bass, slam, faster bass. But the Oracle isn't really a slouch in that department. Yes, it is more sub-bass focused, but it's very tastefully done. It's just enough energy to give tracks some nice colored boost and thump. The cutoff at 200 hertz, that I really like, leads into a very clean lower mids while giving instrumental correct overtones and vocals with excellent clarity and timbre. Like vocals really come to play. And this also has to do with your source. Okay. Mids are super clean and detailed. The Oracle can really, really bring out the little nuances and details to like strings, piano, while overall presenting a very natural replay. And then here's the highs. The highs are part of why this set is so enchanting for me. The ESTs. Now, for me, ESTs done correctly do add special sauce into the IM. The Zensmangered Up is probably for me, I've heard criticisms about the EST implementation of that, and I think it's fantastic. The only thing better I've ever heard in an EST implementation was the Thieaudio Mirai RGB with 8 EST drivers in it. The EST drivers in this Oracle definitely do play a big part to enhance an already fantastic top end. Just gives it that little bit extra up top to, you know, cymbal strikes and crashes like that, just to give a little bit of sizzle at that right time. I think it's a great implementation as well. Is it as well done as the Zensmangered Up? No, it isn't in my opinion, but damn, it's pretty close. I really like this treble on the top end of this. I think overall thoughts for me on this one was that the Oracle really hits that perfect balance of fun, technicalities, and just easy listening overall. Some of the pros, again, I think the basses stand out. I think it's really organic, has a thumpy, kind of well-textured sound. Has a very musical quality to it that kind of blends into the rest of the frequencies without really being overbearing. It's not overdone. It's not a overly saturated sub bass where it kind of washes out the mids or the highs. It still makes lots of boom boom, and it makes boom boom fun. Mids, again, like the bass, they're very smooth, natural sounding. Vocals come across as effortless. Instrumentals replay with the correct weight and timbre, whether it be cello, bass guitar, Joe Satriani 6-string guitar, violin. They all sound really musical and natural to me. And again, the highs are fantastic, sparkly, give hi-hats and cymbal strikes enough energy, never harsh, never overbearing, never too much. So this kind of tuning, this kind of IM, unlike the Hype 10 and the Monarch Mark III, where I said that IM was one of the most needy IMs, both of those, for when it comes to scaling. It was horrible to listen to. Now it's a horrible word to use, but I used it. It really was not a great IM to listen on low volumes, the Hype 10 or the Monarch Mark III. You really need to put power to it. And when you hear people say it needs to scale up or it scales up, well, that's what they mean. It needs to get some juice pumped into them before they actually sound correct, where the Oracle, you can listen to it at low volumes and you still get the bass, you get the nice mids, you still get the highs. Nothing is missing. And in mid volumes, again, fantastic. And then when you get to, you want to dial it up, because the highs are not intense. They're not have a huge high pin gain. You can dial this up and play it loud, and that was one of the things I really liked about this set. A couple things that were the cons for me, but not really, because it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, all the cables, I think, that all come with the Thieaudios are not great. I think they look better than they perform. And they do try, but cable match to your preferences. The one that came with the OG Oracle isn't quite a modular. I mean, it comes with a 2.5 balanced, and weirdly enough, an adapter to down convert it to single-ended 3.5 and 2.5 to 4.4. So kind of weird. But I applaud the effort for sure. Comes with that kind of Pelican style 1010 case that is nice to protect your IMs, but you're probably never going to use it to haul around anything. So that was kind of really the only downsides to this entire IM. But I want to talk about sources now, because I think that was massively important. So I have lots of dongles, ESS, Cirrus Logic, AKM, and recently picked up the Astle and Kern Con Max, and I have my Shanling M8, which is a warmer one, and I liked it on all sources, even the Deschelli Labs, even the super warm 4499. But it wasn't until I got that little EPZ TP50 dongle, and because it's very analytical, believe it or not, in Cirrus Logic. I'll do a review coming up on that one. And the AKM in the Con Max. All of these impressions, I mean, could be done on any source, but as you put this thing on a more resolving source, man, does it make those ESTs kind of come to life and really bring out the details and that extra little bit of information maybe that you weren't, that would be warmed over, that would be too smoothed over with a warmer source. Where this IM with the Oracle can chameleon. It can do that, no problem, but if you do feed it with a resolving source, it really shines. And I've heard more, I fell in love with it before a super resolving source, and I'm in lust now with the with that kind of sound. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. A warmer, smoother IM on a super resolving source is magical, and that's what the Oracle does for me. So if you're thinking about picking this setup, try it with a more analytical source, and you don't have to spend huge money. You can go to those, like those EPZ TP50 was fantastic, and the ESS version, the gold brick, the TP30. Again, just wonderful, the way it brings out the nuances and the details. And then on the A&K Con, it was surreal. It's fantastic. So those are kind of my thoughts on the Thieaudio Oracle. What a lovely, lovely set. I'm never selling mine. I don't want to feel the guilt of having to rebuy it because I missed it so much. Just a terrific IM. Compared to my ups, they are different. This one's kind of, you know, it doesn't have the super bassy slam. The ups are still better for me than the Oracle. But again, I know that, and this is my second set of ups, that the first one has driver imbalance because of the nature of those drivers seem to be susceptible to moisture, and I live in a Vancouver rainforest, so I'm always worried about those where the Thieaudio Oracle, for me, I would more take it out and listen to it outside in that moisture than I would with my Zens Up. So I think they're both terrific. And $540, you can still get this set, still sold on Linsole for that. And I think it's a banger of a set. I would buy this over the Hype 4 and the Hype 10. The Hype 10 was fantastic, but it wasn't musical enough for me, and it was too analytical. And I have other sets that can do that if I wanted that. But for me, that doesn't engage me as much as it does as something that I can always just put on and know that I'm going to enjoy it. Just to summarize the Oracle, really, I think in this hobby, we're always looking for the next best, something new. But what if the next best isn't new? What if it's old? A timeless classic. And I really think you should consider the Thieaudio Oracle. Even at a couple years old, it's still being sold for a reason, because it's absolutely a terrific sounding IM. And for me, that's the Thieaudio Oracle in a nutshell. As a nut. It's my impression.